do different, or?
I had free time. No, I don't.
Yeah, I think that's like the whole social media thing is, it's constantly and it's everywhere. So maybe some people can do it part-time or not give themselves into it completely. I don't think I could do it, so this is like 100%. And yeah, it's everywhere and it's always. So I like it, but you really have to like what you're doing because it will take over everything. I think it's cool, but yeah, again, like you have to be sure that you really like what you're doing before you commit everything to it.
So yeah, I essentially live to make YouTube videos, so I do it full time now, 3 days a week. I still have a day job 2 days. So every Tuesday I have a video which is generally designing, producing with 3D printing or something else, putting electronics in and coding it, either adding to an existing project or something new. So I have to keep that schedule, and I haven't missed a Tuesday video for about 3 years. Wow. So for this event I'm here 5 days including travelling, because a day travelling either way back to England. So the video will be about this. Well, there'll still be a video. In fact, I think I'll have 4 videos, so there we go, all together.
Sweet.
You have already, like, you don't have videos that you have ready to release?
I have some, yeah, so I have my regular Tuesday that's almost real time, then I have some other projects I work on at the same time. For bigger things, like the Lego electric skateboard took about 2 months to get the first part made because of all the 3D printing, about 600 hours. So yeah, that was done in the background, but that comes on a Friday, so that's just an additional video to the schedule. But yeah, I have nothing in reserve, so yeah, it's be the Maker Faire vlog going out Tuesday week.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, one question I was asking myself yesterday too, but I think I didn't ask that. What's the most positive thing you experienced for yourself when you started to make YouTube videos?
Maybe for me it was being involved in the maker community.
Yeah, community.
Coming from a maker's family, I was always used to work with my dad, with my brother, and all alone. And now I'm exchanging ideas and tips with people from all over the world. And that's the beauty for me, because I can share my work and also enjoy the work of other people and have exchange of idea and tips and encouragement from other makers, and that's the best part for me.
Yeah, for me too, it's the people, because I made new friends for life, like that I'm really close to, and I don't think it would have happened without YouTube. So it's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's a powerful feedback too. When you're making stuff and people is liking what you make and they are telling you. Sometimes they call you names, but most times it's positive feedback and that keeps you going. So
it's very motivational as well, because now people are expecting something from you, so it makes you on a track, you know, like you can just go away and not do anything for 1 month, because you will be there will be people asking you, hey, well, what are you doing? I want a video, so.
Do you have a live or what?
Yeah.
No, but I think I do enjoy the challenge as well with this with the schedule, or not non-schedule, but even like you have a fixed schedule, but people expect you to upload once a month or something. So I really enjoy the pressure and the expectation, and it's I don't have videos in reserve as well, which makes it very live, as you said. So every Monday, I try to have the Monday off, which means I'm doing my taxes and the whole bookkeeping stuff. But yeah, then Tuesday it starts again, like, okay, what could I build? And it's almost like an escape room situation. Like you have to be done at Sunday, that's set in stone. And everything else is possible, as long as you can afford the project, as long as you can tell the story in a certain time. And I think that's awesome. Like it's not limiting at all, although it is such a great pressure and great limitation, but yeah, I don't know. For me, the pressure.
What about
works.
today? What is the video today?
Well, today I don't have a video.
Thanks a lot for
Yeah.
that, by the way, since you're here and
Yes,
video.
yeah, no, I was thinking about doing a vlog, but then I really didn't feel like it. And it's also nice to say, no, I'm not going to do a video. Yeah, it's still my choice. I prefer to do a video, but not this week. But I will have a live stream when I'm back in Cologne later today. So if you guys want to join the live stream, I'm more than happy to. I hope my dog doesn't break the internet this time, like last time.
The dog was the fault.
I think so, right? I think it was him. Huh?
Yeah.
Right on.
Anything else to add? No? What's your process of making a YouTube video? Obviously there must be an idea first and then you just go ahead, but what are you planning the shots in beforehand, or are you not thinking about making a video at all before you have like the idea done and finished, or how do you go about that?
So I have a kind of ongoing series, the next part of the thing, and I have to just make sure that it's a nice rounded video where there's some design, some making, some electronics, some coding, and it fits in with a conclusion, and hopefully it works at the end. So you kind of design and edit as I go and make it as I go. I've kind of got into a thing where I know it's going to be okay because I kind of think ahead enough. Then maybe it's slightly limiting because it's simple enough, I know it's going to work. So there's some comments saying, you know, it's the same old mechanism or whatever. But then there's a risk that I would, you know, take a risk and it wouldn't work. Then I have the other projects, as I say, which go on in the background, or I don't say anything about them until I've got something for the first episode. So those tend to be the more challenging ones.
So it's basically that you have the schedule and then your hero content that takes longer to produce, and those are the ones.
That's it, really.
Yeah, right.
Still trying to establish it, really. I'm still trying to sort of stylise the channel to make it streamlined. But.
So it's pretty much that you've got these 3 acts of each video and you're showing what you want to do, then you do it, and then you wrap up. And
something like that.
Okay.
I just generally make it, edit each shot in pretty much 2 or 3 shots as I go, so I don't really know where it's going until I've done it. But it's become a lifestyle, so generally works out okay in the end.
Yeah.
I have, like, every time I have an idea, I have a list in my phone that I put it in. And then when I have to do a video, I never pick ideas. I always do the last one that excites me, and I have a really long list. I can sell it to you. How much? Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Well, I usually have an idea, and then I think about it. I don't draw that much. I made just a few sketches, but I try to imagine every single step in my head beforehand. But about the build, not about the video. The video is just, it starts the moment I start the recording. I press the recording button, and I just go with the flow.
It's linear, right? The process is linear, so the video is usually linear as well.
Yeah, sometimes you might have a shot in your head that you're gonna try to
occasionally.
get, but
and sometimes during the process of making, and because I know the camera is on this position, or sometimes I just come up with like a little joke or
a dance,
stupid thing, and then I think, oh, that's gonna be cool if I say this on the voiceover, or I put just a silly drawing or animation or whatever. So it's the process is fully built during the process. It's not that much pre-made. The only thing that is pre-thought is the idea of the object itself.
like movies or advertisement that they have a storyboard. I think we are freestyling here, right? I don't know.
Most of the
No, I don't have storyboards.
And how long does it take? I mean, we had some ideas about that, and it's like, of course, it's different. A wrap-up video over 2 years is not like one of them, but usually it's like around a week. Most of you release once a week or twice a week, or it's pretty much always you have the deadline and you try to reach that, but it's not like you start on Monday and work through the whole week to get it done on Sunday, or?
Well, I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes the projects are really big, and I can't really calculate it, but I have a very good feeling for how much time I need to get it done. And also the thing is, like, we're not spending all of our time in the shop or at the computer. It's also, you know, talking to people, getting materials, maintaining the shop, talking to sponsors, talking to the community,
Doing panel discussions.
doing these panel discussions. I mean, those are all things that keep you busy. So
Yeah, this is like having lots of professions inside one thing.
yeah.
It's like running the errands.
Exactly. But yeah.
Wanted the what?
What was the question?
It's like doing your
Sure.
day-to-day work,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
upkeep stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then I think what I wanted to say is I try to have most of my work done in the filming process. So when I start a project, I don't talk in my videos. So whenever I cut something on the table saw, I don't verbally say that. I show that in 3 to 5 different snippets. So the filming is what takes the longest because I constantly have to change light, change the camera, do the thing, and then actually get some work done.
So your comments, do you afterwards in a post-producing or what?
What is that? The comments?
Your comments or when you talk?
No, I don't talk in
You
the
don't talk
videos.
enough?
No, I don't talk in my videos at all. Like I do talk on panel discussions and in my vlogs and in the live stream.
But sometimes you say something.
I think only like in 3 videos when something went so horribly wrong that I couldn't explain it. But yeah, usually I don't talk in my videos, and that means the filming process in the build videos. Yeah, in the build, which is like my main content is the build videos. What was that? Did I talk in that video? So yeah, that's what takes up a lot of time, but that makes the editing process really quick for me. It's I upload on Sundays between 12 and 2 is always my goal. So I get up early and do it on Sundays. Yeah.
12 to 2 mornings or why that? Because why that time?
Because I need the pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you edit the video the same day that you release it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get up in the morning and then I do it and then I release the video when I'm done.
But you didn't check the quality of a single shot. For example, you cut a piece of wood and you have not the time or, okay, let's have a look, is it okay, the video? So after the whole process, you take a look at the whole, all the shots and, okay, that's bad, that doesn't work. But I would like to show when I cut this piece of wood, but now that's not
well, I mean,
able to use it.
It doesn't really happen that much, I have to say. I mean, I do this every day, so you really get used to it and you really learn to trust.
Often there are some ideas that the camera goes in the same direction as the table of the saw and so on.
I mean, I do that on the fly. You know, it's really hard because I work on the table saw a lot, and it's, you know, you can't always show the same angle. So I already know, oh God, I have to use the plane. I have to do something, something different. But yeah, usually I don't know. It happens from time to time that I think a shot wasn't as nice as I thought. But I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick, but it doesn't happen that often.
When you do this very often, you basically predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You already know that if you put the camera here and you're running a piece of at the table saw, you know that is coming like in a, you know, like it's hitting you in the face, and you might want that, and it's easy to predict when you do this
exactly.
like every day. So.
The video comes together in your head, and also we talked about that yesterday a little bit. Since I always edit my videos to music, I know exactly. I never need more than like 2 seconds of it. So I only capture the pure essence of it, and then I cut off the beginning and the end, and then that's usually the piece that I need. And sometimes, like I'm getting a bit sloppy with the beauty shots at the end, and sometimes more and more I do that Sunday morning as well because I don't want to do it. That's the part that I really hate, so I push it to the last minute, and then Sunday morning in my pajamas I go to the workshop and take the beauty shots. Don't tell that anybody. But yeah, I don't know. You just get your own rhythm and you get your own flow, and you learn how to trust.
Anyway, if occasionally I have. I'm not sure if the shot was good or not, so I will check it just right away. Mm-hmm. So I don't wait for all the rest of the project to be done. I just go immediately to the camera, check out like in a real quickly mode, see if the angle was nice or if my hands were on the frame or like cut whatever.
Or
and then I
if
my belly shows up or my body.
But you cannot review every shot you take real time because it's very time consuming and you get obsessed and you reshoot things and in the end if it's a bad shot, either you use it as it is and it's gonna be 3 seconds or 4 seconds of bad quality, which often I often think that maybe people is thinking that it was the connection and not the video, that it's bad. And again, 4 seconds of bad quality, it's okay because they may think that the connection just went down.
But you actually have a point, saying that we should check every scene, every plan we're filming, because a few months ago I was making a knife, and the critical step of this knife making was the quench, when you heat the metal and put it into oil to make it hard. And my camera failed me for just this step, and that's what the viewer want to see when they watch a knife making. Yeah, the flames and the smoke, and it's exciting. And
so you build a second one?
Exactly. At the evening, I uploaded all the content, the footage from my camera to my computer, and I realized that this was missing. So I spent the evening remaking the knife just to shoot this 3-second scene. And it happens to me twice. So the second time I couldn't make it because it was a special shape. It was too much work. So I had to go with
the second try. You set a whole bunch of cameras.
Yeah, I should have more than one camera actually. So yeah.
Man kann auch mogeln. Ich habe die gleiche Situation erlebt beim Anlassen von einem Messer. Und die Kamera ist verrutscht, weil ich mit dem Fuß drangekommen bin. Aber ich bin da nicht so professionell wie er. Ich habe das Messer nochmal heiß gemacht. Die Qualität vom Messer ist im Arsch, ganz klar.
He had the same thing, but he bumped the tripod and the camera angle was wrong. So he just reheated and quenched again.
Ja, nur der Franzose macht halt wirklich Qualität. Wir sind ja nicht bekannt für gute Messer. Der schmeißt dann Videos. Nee, echt einfach nochmal in die Esse rein und nochmal zurück. Aber
yeah, these are the things that you don't see in the videos, and that's also stuff that we need to deal with. I remember when I was building the loft bed, we were both working on the loft bed, and I was like, the stupid beauty shots, I always had it, I wasn't really happy, it looked weird, and I had this wide angle lens that was quite expensive, and I was using that, and I was super tired, it was Saturday, and then I don't know, I bet it was smooth, or I'm sure it wasn't me, I bet it was my dog, but the tripod fell over and landed on the lens, and everything was like, the display was hanging down, I could fix that, but the lens was broken, and like, what do? You go to the camera store and buy a new lens, that's the only thing you can do, you know? So, I'm very patient and very zen since I started the YouTube thing, because so much stuff happens that you cannot foresee, that you just have to deal with and make like decisions and make investments. It is what it is. It's fine.
Sometimes when these things happen, if they are not incredibly crucial, they can be a nice way for you to be creative. Like, for example, you didn't turn on the microphone, so you have no sound. You can always, make something like make a fake sound with whatever, or with your mouth, or just put some music on there.
I've done that even with video.
It's not.
Sometimes I cut a completely different piece of wood, and I just real quick And nobody seems to notice.
Just by the way, you can always just yell your questions out. You don't have to go this straight. You can just, if you have a question, just ask it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the question.
Yes, please.
Then I want to know, like I asked yesterday, who of you has a YouTube channel or who wants to have a YouTube channel?
YouTube channels?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Good stuff.
What about?
What's your YouTube channel? Wie heißt dein Kanal?
Werkstatt.
You don't remember.
Habe ich bisher nur Minecraft-Videos und so.
So, mach er nicht. Marc Terberg?
Okay.
What's the name?
Mark.
Schon mal abonniert.
Muss mir gleich zeigen, ich weiß jetzt nicht, aber
I'm gonna switch.
this is channel.
And what it is about?
Minecraft?
Ah, okay.
Right now,
Doesn't matter.
but he's starting to make, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like it. He looks like a maker.
I've asked this yesterday, and I had the most pain with this, but I have to ask it again. How much time of your videos is not building? I mean, we had this yesterday. For me, it was like 50 million%. At least it felt like that. But I guess you're getting into routine, and you're getting better at it, and you need to learn shortcuts and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for me, it's usually like 200% of the actual build time is what it takes to get the video done. So, yeah.
Well, we spoke about it yesterday as well. The first step of editing is actually when you start shooting your video. When you press record, that's when you start editing.
Yeah.
So some people make the mistakes when they start making videos. They press the recording button and they start working, and then when they're finished, they stop recording.
But I mean, for some people, it's a process, you know.
It's a process.
It's a different
Well,
process.
You
Like
end up
Jimmy
with so
makes
much
his videos
footage
like
that
that,
you
and
usually
then
don't use,
works
and that
fine.
you have to cut down again. So it really depends on what you're doing and how you want to do it and everything. But
Yeah.
if you are conscious about what you shoot and how you shoot it, you get more efficient at the whole editing process, I think.
Exactly.
I guess a lot of my stuff is 3D printed, so it's hundreds of hours. I have 10 printers. It's the only way I can get the content made every week.
Yeah.
Plus the other videos that are going on as well. So I don't know how to say what the time multiple is, because it's many times more than what you see on video, obviously.
You have your own house for your printers?
There's a 3D printer room. Now there's 2 in another room. Now there's going to be another 2. So
With extra connection of
So you're
live power.
it's not that bad in terms of power, but the room gets quite warm.
So you're doing, these are mostly time lapses, I think, or?
No, I don't do many time lapses because you have to light the room and have a camera filming for all the time. So I tried it once or twice, but some of the prints are maybe 50 hours. I don't know. So yeah, I did some rubber tyres that were 50 hours each in 80% infill in Ninja Flex, and there were 6 of them. That's for a project coming up. So
It's a $300 wheel.
sorry.
That must be a $300 wheel.
Yeah, so basically a roll in each one. So not quite 300, but not cheap. But where else can you get a custom-made tyre 2 days later? You know.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
That's cool, right? Is there anyone you would like to collaborate with you haven't done yet, or maybe you have done, whom you would like to do stuff with?
All of them.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
I already make a collaboration with Alex. It was one of my first video, maybe, in the beginning. Yeah, but with all this awesome maker and many more.
I know you two collaborated too on the lathe.
Oh yeah.
Some crazy explosion with Colin first. I think the guy is so coolly nuts.
I actually did a video. I actually did a collaboration. I was in his channel with the hacksmith. Anyone with the pulse gen?
And you started the fucking engine.
Yeah,
that was great.
So I might be doing another video with Colin, but it's a secret,
Nice.
so don't tell anyone.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Are things exploding?
I think we're exploding in my channel. Hope not.
Okay.
I would love to work with Simone Yesh-again. She, that was awesome. Yeah, that was such a good time. Yeah, she's good. I know she has a what is that, like a commercial background. so her way of approaching this was completely different than mine. Like, and she also talks in her videos, and it's all about this, all about the idea, like this little tiny second of entertainment, and then I don't know, her videos are built completely different. So I really like to work with people who are different from me. So I would love to collaborate with her, maybe one day, and maybe with this guy, maybe with that.
Ja, das Spannende an den Collabs ist auch, oder für mich jetzt, ich bin im Moment viel bei anderen in der Werkstatt und letztens bei einem Dreh, da habe ich so einen Oberschrank aufgemacht, der hat Tom, heißt der, Holzwurm Tom, und der hat ganz schön aufgeräumt, nicht so wie bei mir. Und dann mache ich den Oberschrank auf, will Schrauben rausnehmen, da waren keine drin. Und dann hat er gesagt, oh sorry, ich habe gestern umgeräumt. Und das ist so ein Effekt, man kennt die Werkstatt aus seinem Video und arbeitet dann da drin und man fühlt sich ein Stück weit wie zu Hause. Aber eben, der hat mich da schön verarscht.
So he said he was at a workshop he knew from videos, and he opened up this cupboard and he was expecting screws, but there was something different because he arranged. And
I asked this question to Laura in her first live stream, so now to the others, same question. At what point does this whole hobby making thing, sorry, the whole filming and content generation thing take over the enjoyment of the hobby? You answered already, Laura, so the others.
Well, I didn't get...
Well, it doesn't, I think, because you're always making stuff that you want to make. It's not that you're making a product that you have to do again and again and again, which is something that takes the fun out of it. And as long as you can make something that you want to make, I don't think it'll ever take the fun out of it.
Yeah, I think that I tend to try and make things that people want to watch, ultimately. But also having the following and having, most of my funding comes from Patreon, which is ongoing crowdfunding, where you get like super fans who pay you $1 per video. So the funding actually really helps to make the thing that's better so people will watch, I think. So that's different from the early days, first few videos, to where it is now.
Yeah.
For me, actually making video is better, because I think like my favorite tool in the making is the camera. So like using the camera and then make stuff, it's part of the fun. So I think I enjoy it more while I film than doing it by myself.
I like the editing part and the video making part as well, very much. Yes. But sometimes I make stuff without the camera and it's super cool. Yeah. Because it's not having to worry about that, it's...
Yeah, I think the whole video perspective is a little bit underestimated. Not only the time and, I don't know, the time mostly it takes to make the videos, but you have to have a genuine interest in making videos and filmmaking and editing and all the technical stuff. Otherwise it will be such a drag to do it, and that's what people just like take the GoPro and then it doesn't look like I expected it. It really takes some effort to get the shots that you have in your head, and if you don't have an interest in that, you will probably have a very hard time on YouTube. So I guess all of us really enjoy the filmmaking perspective as well.
I guess one tip is good lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good microphones.
Or a good macro lens, then you don't need lighting. That's what I do.
Yeah, backlighting was a thing I discovered too late on, I think. So, yeah, just having some light shining on the back of the thing behind it makes it look like a TV. Makes it much easier to get good shots.
Yeah, that's a good thing. What are your best tips on equipment? I mean, there's obviously you need a decent camera to start on. You don't need much. That's what I gathered from so many people. But what's if you could order that, what's the best thing to spend money on first? I don't know.
I think it's you can do two kind of different videos, because you can make videos that you want to teach doing something, so you don't need a nice camera. If you want to entertain too, I think you have to invest a little bit more in the camera and in the filming. So you can either teach, so you can do it with your phone or a GoPro or whatever. But if you want to entertain and give some nice content to watch, then I think you have to invest a little bit in cameras and gears, I think.
But then again, it really depends on the content, because coming back to Simone, who has a crazy successful channel, I think she still does it all on her phone.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. She like
no
when,
excuses here.
No excuses. Yeah, that's it.
Everybody's got a fucking phone. That's nice.
Yeah, my first like 15 videos were all filmed with a Nokia with a 720p camera.
Yeah.
Like one of my most successful videos, the how to make a light box. It's almost, I don't know, like 800,000 views or something, and it was with a phone. And a lot of people ask me, "What's your camera?" And it was just a cheap phone. So it, of course, it matters the quality of the image, but you can walk around it. You know, like the pixels are not the most important thing.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have good lighting and good framing, and if the story is nice, and
you don't have to spend that much in lighting. You can use
I just have a ceiling light, basically.
You have to know a little bit of how to set the lights. But
I think the most money that you spend is when you start making your process more efficient, and then you have the better camera, because it's easier to work with. It's faster than downloading from your phone, uploading to this and that.
And good computer.
Yeah, you get a better computer where you can edit really fast, and then I think that's where you can sink a whole lot of money in. But to get the video out, you don't need that much money.
Also bei mir war es auch so, ich habe mit dem iPhone die Videos gemacht am Anfang. Und ich bin heute noch der Überzeugung, dass man mit dem iPhone, mit dem Smartphone ganz viel machen kann. Es gibt viele Möglichkeiten, mit diesen Geräten wirklich gute Bilder zu machen. Aber bei mir war es nach so die Geschwindigkeit, die Arbeitsgeschwindigkeit. Wie Laura gesagt hat, das Hochladen und so weiter, das war so ein Scheiß. Und auch die gewisse Bilder habe ich dann wirklich nicht hinbekommen. Ich habe früher viel fotografiert und so Tiefenschärfen, Geschichten, das geht nur mit einer besseren Kamera.
So, but basically you're saying the first step to up your game is from smartphone to camera, and not like to invest in lighting and stuff like that? Or is it the PC which is like more important than the next camera, or what would you say?
I think the PC is crucial. Like before having the computer that I have now, I had I work with an Apple MacBook Pro, but before I had like the black one, which wasn't Pro, and if I didn't upgrade to the computer that I have now, I'm absolutely sure that I would never create a YouTube channel. So that was kind of that decision for me.
One other good question I'm asking myself. I used Lightworks, which apparently was not the best choice to cut. But that's what I heard. What are you using? Are you using
like editing software?
Yeah, the standard Mac thing?
I use
iMovie?
Yeah, iMovie.
No, I use Premiere Pro.
Premiere, yeah. Premiere?
Premiere Elements.
Okay.
It's just cuts. I don't do anything fancy really. Just cuts and fades. Maybe a fade, maybe none. So.
Yeah, Premiere is really good, I think.
Cool. Expensive. Every month.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Elements you can buy outright.
That's the main thing about the whole. YouTube is not free, you know. If you're a content creator, it's not free. Same thing if you want to open your nail salon, it's not free.
Yeah.
Like, this is a business, and you have to invest some money.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, definitely. And on top of paying 20 euros for Premiere, I'm paying a workshop. I need a car. I need to get my material. It's not like this is that's such a great way to make money. It's very, 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 very hard to get your money back because you have to invest all of your time, camera equipment, workshop, materials, tools, upgrades, and then you get to the certain point, and then it's really unfair when people support you, and then it's like, sell out. You get all your tools for free. Well, yeah, but the 10 years before that, I was spending all of my time, all of my money, so I could get to this point. And I don't know, I think it's this weird misconception because everybody can open a YouTube channel, that's true. Like everybody can go on the internet and open 10 channels if they like.
Easy to start with, hard to master. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I feel like there's a bit of wrong expectations and wrong feeling of entitlement. Like I have a YouTube channel, this should take off now. It will only work if you really, really, really put everything that you have into it. At least for maybe there are people who are really good, who can do it, as I said before, like half-assed, which is awesome. For me, it doesn't work like that, and I think for most people, it's just
no, for no
it's
one.
yeah.
I mean, you can have like a successful video by luck, but then it's not gonna last. Like you have to really work a lot.
Yeah.
And study and learn new things.
Yeah, and especially with YouTube changing, with the ads getting less and less, and all that, and more creators, which is awesome, which is great. But you really have to look for different kinds of incomes. Like Patreon is perfect. It's perfect system. I really like it, but you won't get Patreons if you upload one video that is crazy successful on YouTube, like the viral hit where this is kind of like, oh, you make YouTube videos, so you just film your cat and then you get crazy rich. Nah, not really.
I have a question to Laura. You have 2 sponsors which we can't get good in Germany.
Yeah.
Rockler and Miller Welding.
Lincoln.
Lincoln. In Germany you would use EWM or something like that. Do they sponsor you for the international market?
I think so, yeah. It's about brand awareness. So Rockler and Lincoln, they...
It's hard to buy here.
It is hard to buy here. They are trying to get into the market more and more. But for them, it's more about brand awareness, and the YouTube is not only in Germany and not only in America, it works everywhere. And since my videos are non-verbal, everybody says I have an English channel. I guess I don't, because my most important videos, I don't even say a single word in them, so everybody can watch them. And that's what's very interesting from a business perspective, that I can be here in Germany. And so far I had one collaboration with a German brand, but I had so many emails and so many hours of phone calls of brands wanting to get into sponsoring me, but then I don't know, it's too expensive and whatnot. Like Germany is a little behind. So we're actually very lucky to have YouTube as an international platform. It doesn't matter, like I could be in the desert and they would sponsor me, because it's just about the content.
What your demographic is, if it's mostly, the US is the biggest demographic?
Yeah, it's 55%.
So, then, yeah, so interestingly after that is Thailand and lots of Asian countries before you can get to the UK, so.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Well, as Laura said, most German companies and European companies, they don't know really how to use this.
No, they rather spend 20,000 euros on like huge billboard posters that nobody sees because everybody's watching their phone.
Watching us.
We will get there. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I have to go, I'm afraid, so I'm actually...
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Right.
Thanks for watching. I'm the Mantis robot assistant for the show, for the big walking robot.
Yeah. Come join us next time. We'll have a walk.
Yeah. We can all drive it then.
And there is easy. Bye, man. Thanks. Yeah. One thing I was. I think it's cool that you've talked about that, because I found that quite interesting. That most of the stuff you all are doing are obviously on YouTube, and Patreon is like also a way of making sure you don't die from that platform dying. Is there any, do you have any ambitions, like recently maybe live streaming becomes a thing and you go on other platforms like Twitch, or have you ever thought about these other possibilities to reach out to people and provide the product you're doing? Or?
For me personally, right now, YouTube is my main platform, and I really want to stay there. And I hope they up their live stream game a little bit, so we can have like very fluid live streams there, and I don't have to go to Twitch, because I feel like my audience is on YouTube. That's where I want to meet them, and I'm very happy with YouTube so far. I have to say, I'm not expecting the money that I make on YouTube is nothing that I have calculated monthly. So I'm always happy about whatever I get, but I'm not relying on the YouTube money at all, and that's why I don't care what platform I'm on. I'm just happy.
Cool.
I mean, opening Twitch is another thing to deal with. Really takes time. Having your audience there, being in touch with everybody, the comments and all that. I'd rather have it on YouTube, but yeah, don't rely on the YouTube money. Yeah. And that's why like sponsors are so important for us. I mean, I know that not everybody understands how crucial this is, but if I didn't have sponsors, I could not make a living out of this, and I would have to go back to like being at least like part-time employed, but probably full employed. because my workshop is very expensive. I couldn't have the workshop without the sponsors, and also Patreon. Patreon are the guys that when I'm sick, I don't have to worry about paying rent for the month, because I know I have like my monthly income, and I can cover my rent, I can cover my car, I can cover my phone. Like the most important stuff is taken care of by my Patreons, which is crazy to think about. I mean, how cool is that, right? So
But
yeah.
are you free with sponsors? Are you really free to do stuff?
Yeah. My sponsors don't see the video before you see it.
Okay.
So that's the first thing I always tell. Like you will not have any say in what the content is about, and you will not see it before I upload it. And if they're okay with that, then we can go further than that. And then like the second rule is I will only do this long term. I mean, I guess the first rule is I have to like the brand, you know. Or please, can I talk? Thank you.
She's always like that.
Yeah, so right now, like with my sponsors, it's funny. They told me like, you don't have to write us an email every time with your ideas. Just like send us the invoice. It's fine. So it's a really, really, really cool relationship with that.
Und warum sind so wenige Frauen dabei im Maker-Bereich? Why are so less women as makers?
I don't know. Ask the women who are not on YouTube, not the women who are.
Why are so less women on YouTube?
Why?
Maker woman.
I don't know. Okay, I'm a woman, so.
I think for the most part, you can't just let out demographics at this point. I mean, it's just, I think there's just a natural way to how interests fall and how society like raises people, and that's like a big part of the problem, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I've got no clue about the whole general thing, but that's just common sense. That's
But also, I mean, maybe in the maker community there are less girls, but I mean, beauty, I bet there are less boys in the beauty section, so, you know, and there are a lot of DIY, and a lot of like crafting and DIY things. It's just not, I don't know why, for me it was never something that I thought about, like, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do welding, I can't do all that
Do you have
stuff.
brothers?
Yeah, he's older. He's a sissy. No, he's awesome. He's also creative, and he's an illustrator. Super awesome dude, and we never had that problem with each other. So, yeah, I guess it's a state of mind. But there are lots of female creators, and like look at April Wilkerson or the third time Simone Yash. Like there are so many. What's a minimalist maker? She's new. On the
She's
platform, right?
from Finland.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean,
Mini. Yeah,
Mini. Yeah,
it's great. That channel is.
Becky Stern. There are so many girls. Yeah.
And it's great because I actually feel that we are inspiring new people, new women to come. And my channel, it's at the beginning, like when you go to the statistics to see the percentage of men and women who's watching your videos. In the beginning it was like 5%, 7%, and now I'm about 20%.
Really?
That's great.
Oh my god, cool.
I wanted to say the exact example. When I started, it was 4%, and now it's 8%. Yours is better.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but I mean that's one thing, right? What you asked. The reason is there are not enough yet. So I mean, you definitely inspire, and that's a great thing.
But I mean, I mean, it's awesome when I inspire girls, but I just as much like to inspire guys. You know, I just think the whole gender thing is that it does not have anything to do with creating. It doesn't. It really does not matter.
Yeah. I've got a last question from my side, which I forgot to ask yesterday, but we're still open to questions. We have to watch the clock. We've got 10 minutes left. After that, we'll get kicked out. So we have to make a way there. Yeah, you go ahead. First.
I mean, you guys are making videos. So are you using any other additional documentation that you do during the project, or is the video yourself filming just enough for it?
Well, it's more than enough, I think. More than enough work at least. But
what you mean? What
I
are
don't take
things?
pictures anymore.
Blog posts or something? Or
no, I mean, like, do you take notes of writing? Because I'm a professional software engineer. I know documentation really sucks and nobody likes to do it. So I was just thinking if making the videos or filming yourself is easier than just writing it down.
No, I guess we're just making the fun part of like making a movie where
if I have to do 3 or 4 equal parts, and maybe in the future I'll make more, then I take notes, or maybe I have a 3D model or something like that. But otherwise, the video.
Yeah, I mean.
Sometimes I record the measures. What I'm measuring in the video. Maybe that doesn't make it into the video, but the display with the numbers is there. Then I cut it out, but at least I have it there.
Well, there's also, don't think in our group, but there are also YouTube makers that, as part of their revenue, are offering plans, building plans. Mostly furniture makers like David Pastuto, Bob Claggett, and some others. So they actually offer plans where you can build whatever they build. So it depends what you do. Some do, some don't.
Yeah. Right, what was your question?
My question was, what's your impossible project you would love to make? Something you think wouldn't be possible without having more money or more time, or maybe it's just you wouldn't have good content for that, but is there something you think you would like to make, but it's just, you can't?
I mean, honestly, I would love to go to the Burning Man thing and have something like that. But yeah. Support their Patreon!
So, but that's for like setting it on fire, or?
Yeah, I mean just like a walking sculpture, or have like a crazy bike, or just attend the thing. What is that?
With this.
Yeah. Actually, when I was in San Francisco, I went to the workshop where some of these things were built, and it's really cool. So I'd love to go to San Francisco for 2 months and do a collaboration.
Hang out there.
Yeah, build something really cool. Maybe someday. I mean, it's nothing that I have to do immediately, but that's a nice goal to have.
For me, the impossible project is roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Yeah, I've been obsessed with roller coaster all my life.
That's nice.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Played the same game for too many hours. Cool, yeah.
Sweet.
Roller coaster would be really good. I would ride it.
Yeah.
Get insurance beforehand.
Okay.
Anyone else?
No?
Yeah, for me, maybe it would be, if I recall correctly, it was what Jago did, which is building a house and everything which is in the house, the furniture, the table, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe that.
Yeah, that's something I would love to do too. Yeah, like get a piece of land and just build it all myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something. Yeah,
exactly.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
I would like to know how you feel about your workshop. Is it your sacred space? Is it your cave? How you structure it and how you equip it? Or how you would like to?
Well, my workspace is my home, so I live inside of it. I work.
Yeah.
It's not getting small.
It is actually getting bigger because I'm getting more organized, and I'm kind of dividing each space more efficiently. Yeah. So.
And new tools? Where are coming new tools? Which space? In which space are you putting the new tools that you're buying, or new tools that you need?
I get rid of old tools if the ones are better, so they take the place. Currently I have 2 big tools on the balcony, which is quite big, small terrace, and I'm actually going to build like a shelter for them because I don't have. I mean, I have space inside, but if I put them inside, I don't have enough space to live and work and occupy to have action. I don't have. So.
Now, how did you get access to your tools in the workshop at the beginning? So, did you just say, okay, I want to build stuff, and bought yourself a workshop and started? Or what's the process of that?
That was it.
In my case, it was totally random because there were some offers for tools in one of the supermarkets, and a tool would cost like 15 euros or something. I didn't know what it was for, but I got it. And 3 years ago, I used my router for the first time. So. Yeah, I got some crappy tools and I started playing with some of them without having the space, and then I moved to a bigger space so I could not breathe the dust while I was sleeping, because I was I started working in my room, in my desktop.
Yeah.
And then you start going a bit bigger. But
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I started in my room as well, and then you very quickly. I mean, you found your way to work around it, but I don't know. I had just one small room, and I couldn't do any woodwork in it or anything of welding. I was super interested in welding. Obviously, you can't do it. So I had the opportunity to go to an outside workshop kind of thing. It was like this abandoned building, and there was an outside workshop, and I could rent a very, very small room. And I did that, and after a couple of weeks, I decided I want to live there full time and try to really make this work and test myself if I'm super invested, if I'm really that passionate about it, even if it means I have to live outside, I don't have any space for my personal stuff. So I sold my car, got rid of my apartment, and bought this little caravan thing, also very small. And I lived outside for a year, and after that I was like, okay, I still like it, although we don't have a shower really. and then I rented my own warehouse, but well, I rented my own warehouse. It was like, and then I became Iron Man. No, it was like a really broken down warehouse, and I lived there for 5 years, I think, before moving back to a regular house anymore again. But I wanted to say something else. What was I?
The question was the process of...
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, the workshop was basically my first tool. So when I came to the outside workshop, I had an angle grinder and the really small Makita drill that cannot stand up by himself. Why?
I have one like that.
Yeah. So the workshop was my first tool, and that workshop wasn't expensive. I had like 120 euros rent, I think. So it's not always a big investment, but after a year living super scaled down, I knew I want to do it full time, and then I got the warehouse, which was basically the price of a regular apartment again.
But at that point in time, you didn't like try to make YouTube the whole thing, right?
No. That was just trying to learn the skills. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't. The YouTube thing, my channel took off quite quick, but it's not like an overnight success, because it took me 10 years to get there. Like, to have the workshop the way it is, to have all my tools, to have the experience, the understanding of how projects works, concepts and all that. Yeah.
Well, I studied arts, so I got interest in tools at a young age, let's say. And my dad, he's not really he's a philosopher teacher. But he always had a few tools around, like a grinder and a drilling machine, basic tools. And since I was at an early age, I just wanted to try those things. So I would wait until he gets out of the way, and I would go to the tools and start making something. And then my mom comes and, oh my God, you let her do that. She's so... she could just cut one hand off. Okay, so then I studied arts, and I started to collect a few tools. Like, I got a router because I needed to make some light boxes frames, so I needed to make a groove for the plexiglass and the picture and that stuff. So I went for the cheap stuff at first, and then I got, just before starting the channel, I got a prize, like a 1,000 euro prize from Leroy Merlin, and I just went into a conquest for something. So I just got a few more tools, and there was actually another thing besides the good computer to pump me up to start it. Yeah.